Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about relationships, specifically romantic relationships, and I guess my take on them and how I would approach them. And I just want to make a disclaimer that I'm not one to say that this is the one right way to go about them or to fall in love and to be in a relationship. This is just my take on it and what I would do. So I want to start with this thing or this idea that I've seen a lot on social media of relationship goals. And I feel like we're constantly fed this idea, this is what a relationship should be like. You should be with your significant other by this time or that time. This is when you should start dating. This is when you need to get married, when you need to have children. And it's not just social media, even the communities that we've grown up in or just people around us can kind of make us feel like maybe pressure us to do things or to feel like, oh, I should be in a relationship or I should be dating or married or have children by now. And I feel like in this process, sometimes we end up making decisions that we're not ready for. And I feel like this sometimes might be the cause of things like divorce, where two people might have gotten married and they might have actually loved each other, but maybe they both wanted different things out of life. And they didn't realize that. Maybe they got married too young or they weren't ready to, and they realized that later. And they might still, respect each other, of course, but realize that they're not compatible together as, husband and wife or in a relationship, so they divorce. And yeah, I feel like this idea, I think, sometimes pushes people to get into relationships when they're not ready to. And I want to start this again by saying that we shouldn't shame people for their preferences. Not everyone has an idea that they want to get married, or some people might really want to get married, even though everyone around them is like, oh, well, that's old fashioned or whatever. And, some people might believe in the idea of their one and only soulmate. Some might believe in multiple soulmates. They might believe that, oh, this person fits this aspect of my personality in life, while this person fits this aspect. And maybe they feel like just one person doesn't, complement them well, so they want to be with many people. And then some people might just like being in relationships, just casually dating because they enjoy that experience. And some people might actually never really want to find their soulmate, or they don't believe in the idea of a soulmate and they just want something purely physical. And I want to say that there's nothing wrong with having any of these preferences or any other preferences. What is wrong is not being honest and transparent about what you want to the other person. And I say this because, you should be transparent and be clear about your intentions, because then the other person can make a true choice and truly be autonomous about whether they want to be with you or not. If you tell someone that you love them and you don't, you just want to sleep with them, then they might believe that, and then if they end up making that decision to be intimate with you and you leave them, then you weren't truly being honest with them. So I feel like it's better to just say from the beginning, I'm looking for something purely physical, then that person can make that decision. And then I also want to say, if you are interested in someone and you approach them and tell them that I want to date you or something, and they say that they're not interested in you as more than a friend, or that, they're not ready for a relationship, believe them. Please believe them. Because I think sometimes we think that we can change someone, and we think that, oh, they haven't been with me yet, so they don't know what a great relationship is. But the thing is someone can only truly change if they want to. That's something that needs to come from within themselves. No one else can change them. Like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And I feel like this applies similarly to this kind of situation. And I also want to say that before you get into a relationship, know kind of, I guess, what you want. And of course, sometimes you can't know what you want unless you kind of date and meet people, and that's fine if you want to do that. But don't just rush into a relationship without knowing who you are and what you want out of your life first, I feel like. If you're looking to pursue a serious relationship, that is. And I say this because you kind of need to be on that journey of discovering yourself, and that's a lifelong journey, but I feel like there's a point where you really don't know where to start, and that's where you should start, kind of figuring out who you are, what your morals are, what you stand for. And I feel like if you're looking for a serious relationship and you find someone that compliments you, then that's better. but you can't know unless you figure out who you are first. Now, along that journey, if you do meet someone and you happen to compliment each other and it feels like, everything is in place and everything's going smoothly, then go ahead and be in the relationship if you feel like that's the right decision for you. However, otherwise, if you feel like you're just kind of, getting into it for the sake of getting into a relationship, then don't do it. Be honest with that person. Tell them that you're not ready for a relationship, and that way you can continue to grow as a person and that person can continue to grow on their journey as well. And I also want to say that there isn't a right age to get married or start dating. I don't think there is. Your intuition will let you know when you've met the right person or when you're ready to date. And I say always listen to your intuition. I would say like 90 to 95% of the time it is correct. And it's there for a reason. I feel like it's our own fight or flight / defense mechanism telling us that this is right or this is wrong. So listen to it. If you feel like you're rushing into something, most likely you're not ready for it. So don't pressure yourself to doing something or getting into a relationship just because you feel like you have to or everyone around you is. Listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, and do things when you're ready to do them. And as for marriage, I say that only do it if it's something that you truly want or what your partner truly wants. And I say this because marriage, it's not just about, till death do us part, but it's also, there's a lot of other things that come into play, like, do you guys want to have children? Does this person want to have children? Or, what are this person's career goals? Would they want to move in the future? Or even financially, like, do you guys want to share your finances? And I feel like you can still be in a very loving and soulful, true relationship without getting married. And I'm just going to throw out some examples, like these two YouTubers, Jenna Marbles and Julian Solomita. They have both been dating for a while now, and I feel like they are soulmates, but they haven't gotten married, and that's worked out well for them. I wouldn't say that they're in any less of a loving relationship, but that's their decision. And even one of my favorite singers, Shakira, she's been with her boyfriend, I think, for like 10 years now. And they have 2 children, and they're pretty much like a working unit as a family. But that's just their personal decision to not get married. That doesn't mean they have any less of a loving relationship. And if you are in a relationship or marriage and you feel like it's not bringing out the best in you, please leave ASAP. Even if people around you are telling you, oh, you shouldn't get divorced, it looks bad, and this and that, those people aren't going through the relationship like you are. So if you are feeling like you're not your best self in that relationship or marriage, you should leave. It's best for you, it's what's going to help you, and it doesn't matter what other people think. It's what matters is how it's going to affect your life and how you can help yourself moving forward. And I would personally say in cases like cheating, once a cheater, always a cheater. I believe that. However, that is up to you. If your partner does cheat on you and you want to give them another chance, that's fine. That's between you two. And it just is up to you again and your intuition. If your intuition's telling you that give this person another chance, fine, go ahead. But yeah, that's just my take on cheating. I just feel like once someone cheats on you, they can cheat on you again. But again, that's between you and your partner, and it can vary depending on the relationship. And then if you're in an abusive or demeaning relationship, please leave immediately, as soon as you can. Because even if someone gives you empty threats, let's say to abuse you, or to mentally harm you, or to ruin your life in any way, I would say those are kind of like blessings in disguise, because even though they haven't done that, the fact that they can threaten to do that to you is enough. Like, that's a big red flag. So I would leave right away. If nothing is lost, if they haven't done that, but they keep scaring you and they keep telling you things like that, like, they're going to yell at you or they're going to abuse you or something, please leave ASAP. And I also want to say that sometimes in relationships, 2 people have, they are very compatible and they are very good to each other, but maybe for some reason over time they realize that they've fallen out of love with each other. And that happens, people change sometimes, and maybe at one point in your guys' lives you were in love, and over time maybe you realize that you're not in love anymore. It doesn't mean you don't care about each other, but maybe you guys just don't love each other romantically like you used to. And if you really want to give the relationship another shot, then do seek out counseling and other forms of help. However, if you know that you no longer love this person, then you have to have an honest conversation with them. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're in love with anyone else. It just means that maybe you just realize that you can't love this person the way that they deserve to be loved. And I actually like this one quote by Johnny Depp in an interview he was saying. I think this is when, I don't know if he was with his like second or third long-term partner, but he did say that if you're in love with someone, if you are with someone currently in the moment, and you find yourself truly falling for someone else, then that means you aren't truly in love with the person you're with. Now, he meant this is a case of like true love. If you do find someone else, and let's say you do feel that feeling of true love towards them, not just an infatuation or lust, but truly you feel like you could be soulmates with this person, then the person you're currently with is probably not your soulmate, otherwise you wouldn't feel that way. And that doesn't mean you have to cheat on this person. Obviously, don't cheat on the person you're with, but have an honest conversation with them. Tell them that I don't love you the way that I used to, and I feel like it's better for both of us if we just go our separate ways. And like I said, if this does happen to you, never cheat. Please don't do it. It really ruins that person's trust in you, and I feel like in relationships in general, cheating really messes people up, because then it's not that they don't just believe in you anymore, they don't believe in the idea of love anymore. And love is a beautiful thing if you're, with the right person. And that will make them lose their faith in love as well, and I think that's a horrible thing to do to someone, so please don't ever cheat on anyone. And even if you have fallen in love with someone else, like I said, just be honest with them, but don't cheat on them. There are ways to politely leave someone without being a complete garbage of a human being about it. And I feel like, for me personally, cheating it makes someone a garbage human being, and I don't believe in it. And then, if you find yourself also in a relationship and losing who you fundamentally are as a person, I feel like you should leave, because it's not fair to you or your partner to not be true to yourself, because then you're not bringing out the best in yourself. And if you're not bringing out the best in yourself, then your partner can't enjoy the best that you have to offer to them. So I feel like, obviously if you're in a dark place in your life and your partner is helping you, make important changes in your life and improve, then that's a different scenario. Your partner's actually helping you. But if you feel like you can't be yourself anymore, you can't pursue the career you want, or you can't be true to yourself as a person, and you feel like you're not the same person who you were at the beginning of the relationship, I feel like it's best to leave. And these are all, of course, scenarios of relationships, but if you've never been in a relationship, or maybe you've been in some and you've realized that maybe it's not for you and you're happy being single, then that's great too. There's no need to be in a relationship. Even when you're in a relationship, happiness doesn't come from another person. No one else can completely fill the void in your life that you need to fill for yourself. I feel like happiness and in relationships is something that needs to be shared. It's something that you already have and you want to share it with someone. It's not where you're not happy and someone just comes and replaces it, the like void in your life, because that's not their job. It's everyone else's individual job to find their happiness. And so yeah, like I said, we need to be the sole reason that we are happy. We need to realize that we are solely responsible for our happiness, and if we decide to be in a relationship, we're sharing that with someone. We're not making them the primary source of our happiness. We already have our happiness and we're sharing it with them, and they're sharing their happiness with us. And sometimes, people can change. Maybe you've been in a relationship and, like I said, maybe someone's fallen out of love with you, or you've fallen out of love with them, and people can change sometimes, and we need to respect that. And I don't think it means that the relationship you had didn't mean anything. It just means that it didn't work out for whatever reason it did, but through that you learn more about love and you learn more about yourself. And it's a lesson, and life goes on, and just because a relationship that you thought would work out didn't work out doesn't mean that we've lost our purpose and that, we should just completely give up on love or ourselves. It just means that, maybe that person wasn't the best fit for us, and maybe there's someone else out there that is a better fit for us. And currently, wherever we are in our life, maybe that person can't be that person that we can share where we are currently with, but maybe someone else is going to be there that we can share where we are and our true goals and our true happiness with them. So I just want to say that, yeah, in these scenarios, maybe in certain phases of our life, maybe we've been through multiple relationships or just a couple or maybe just one. But in case that relationship didn't work out, maybe we just found someone who was right for us at that one time in our life and kind of at that road stop in our life, and not someone who's actually going to ride out the journey of life with us. And just, as a closing note, I want to say that sometimes we meet the right person at the wrong time and the wrong person at the right time. But I feel like if we want to have a truly happy relationship, we truly need to meet the right person at the right time. Does that take a lot of time sometimes? Does that take some, so-called unsuccessful relationships sometimes? Sure it does. But anything good takes time, and I want to say that if you've had failed relationships, or if you've never been in a relationship, or you just feel like, the idea of love is very confusing and it's not for you, whatever you decide, I want everyone to know that if they are, romantically looking for someone, don't give up on love. I think love is truly a force out there, and just be patient. And if you find that you're someone that doesn't need to be with anyone and you're happy and just being single and being yourself that way, then that's also true love in a way too. That's a form of true love. And if you're happy in that, don't let people tell you that you have to be in a relationship or you have to do this or that. Just do you and be happy. Ultimately, the end goal is happiness. We all deserve to be happy, and we all need to be happy to be the best people we can be. So I hope this message helped you guys, and if you did like it, then please do like this video and do share it with anyone if you think it would help them, and please do subscribe if you like content like this. I hope you guys are all staying safe and taking care of yourselves, and I really love you all and appreciate all the love and support you've given me. See you soon, guys. Bye.